Wednesday, the 29th of July. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. Live to you from Channels International Headquarters, Lagos, Nigeria's financial capital. I am boosting them up for you. Thank you very much for joining us at this time. For the next 1 hour, we've got a lot to talk about, but the program will focus a lot more on the business of rice. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Customs Service are going after those, they said, debts that are paid for those import duties. There's still a lot to talk about. The central bank governor yesterday says if anyone thinks that the apex regulator will lift the ban on foreign exchange sourcing for rice imports, don't think it will happen anytime soon. That's the biggest story today. And those earnings are still coming in, some to bring some tears to your eyes. GlaxoSmithKline today reported a massive downside in its first half numbers. We'll talk about this later on the program. Stock market, second trading day of negative ending. Keep those things in mind if you're still you're eating Indomie and pasta and those things. So things are getting a lot messier as far as the earnings season is concerned here in Nigeria. Thank you, Anne. And we'll be back with News Track at 11. Let's get back with the rest 1 hour of the programming. We're focusing on some of these stories today. This is just coming in. Now it's a breaking news. Honeywell Flour, one of the largest companies listed on our market, one of the largest also in the food beverage company, reporting revenue that's down 4 billion naira. A whopping 4 billion was the decline in Honeywell Flour's revenue. For the 12 months ended March 2015, the fast-moving consumer company also reported profit before tax that fell to 1.4 billion naira. This figure is getting a lot more now. The difference between 2014 and 2015 figure here was 2.8 billion. Profit after tax declined 2.3 billion. Profit before tax down 2.8 billion. Revenue for Flourmills down 4 billion naira to 49.1 billion. The company made 53.2 billion in the same period of 2013 through to 2014. Now, for the year ended March 31st, 2015, Flourmills reporting more than 2.3 billion naira decline in profit after tax. GlaxoSmithKline, one of the front runners in the healthcare on our market here in Nigeria, revenue down 300 million naira at half year, ended June 30th, 2015. Profit before tax down almost 1,930 million naira to 424.8, and profit after tax for GlaxoSmithKline, GSK, you know it, slumped a whopping 620 million naira. For the agro-allied company Presco PLC, also listed on the market for the first half of 2015, revenue, however, was up slightly, 600 million naira, and profit after tax managed 100 million naira to stay in the green. But the biggest story today is the rice importers. If you haven't read the newspapers, you need to go get one. The Central Bank of Nigeria is now saying the level of import, that is the figure of import, Nigeria's import bill for rice in the first 5 months of 2015 was $2.4 billion. That's almost half a trillion naira. And he says this is unsustainable and that government policy to get local rice production up and running is being defeated by these huge imports. Now the customs is also slamming some of the companies in the import of rice import business for their failure to pay outstanding duties on those rice that were imported. You find these stories in the news today. That's the biggest story. We're following the rice business. Nigeria spent 474 billion naira in the first 5 months of 2015 to import rice. That's $2.4 billion. Now, the central bank says the regulator will go after those who are duties evaders. So, joining hands at the top, the central bank and Nigeria Customs Service going after rice importers. We got one of them live to us in the studio to talk to us this morning about this story that is unfolding and what lies ahead, the challenges the government face, as well as these importers, of course, the rice farmers themselves. Okay, that's the curtain raiser for today. Stick around for the next 50 minutes. We'll also talk about yesterday's Capital Markets Committee meeting held by the Securities and Exchange Commission. What was achieved? That's the question mark. The Deputy Director, Head of Legal, Mr. Anastasia Brahma, will be talking to us on the phone over the next 10 minutes. But let's go around the markets as usual. Let's look at the markets now for you in broader details. Average interbank rates declined on Tuesday since we started with the week with so much heavy liquidity because of those FARC allocations, about 518 billion naira that crept into the markets late on Friday. So average rate was down about another 82 points yesterday, or basis points to 14.65%. On those liquidity early in the week. Overnight rate went down 200 basis points on Tuesday. That overnight money fell sharply, almost 1,000 basis points on Monday. So this week we've seen that rapid downside. We finished overnight money around 30% on Friday last week. Now we are at the midweek level, around 10.21%. If the central bank decides not to be aggressive with open market operations this week, we're likely to see overnight money market rates down to a single digit, but that's not likely to happen. But okay, let's go on. Yesterday, the central bank sold 91.42 billion treasury bills. Let's give that a